Life sure moves at a different pace on the farm, but we're glad to have you come for a visit. And everyone who does come to see us always leaves with a happy tale.
Hey there, welcome to Happy Tales Farm. Glad to have you back. Today we're going to get up close and personal with some of our animals, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you crack open one of them emu eggs later on. You're also going to get a chance to see one of the hardest workers on our farm. But it's time to give the cows and horses some feed. I think you met our horses already. I'd like to reintroduce them to you if you don't know them. And also our cows. We have 3 cows right now. We have Charlie, that's a girl cow. We also have Charlie's baby, who we have named her calf Cowboy. That way, when we take him onto little petting zoos, nobody has to say, is it a boy or is it a girl? His name's Cowboy, so they can usually figure that out. And he's a sweetie too. Here's a pic of Charlie with her baby Cowboy. Hey baby. One more cow. He's about 2,000 pounds. We've had him since he's just a little calf. He's actually not a cow. He's called a steer. If you don't know the difference between a cow and a steer, the difference is, well, cows are female and steers are male. But a steer is a bull that's not able to have babies. We'll put it that way. Okay. Our steer's name is Otis, and he's a lover. Here's a couple shots of Otis's baby pictures, and one once he got a little bigger. So I'll talk to you a little bit about the difficulty in giving them hay. They eat a lot of it, and I mean a lot of it. So I get these bales, big round bales, about 750-pound bales, but they're so heavy I need help moving them around. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to introduce you to one of the best workers on this farm. Someone who really, she's my best friend on this farm when it comes to getting work done, put it that way. I call her Fee. I'd like to introduce you to Fiona, because she's an amazing worker.
Before I met you, everything was black and white. Now it's so different. Now it seems so right. Before I met you, everything was black and white, but it's so different. Now it seems so bright. You bring the color to my life.
Just so you know, Fiona does have an attachment. I like to use those forks, but she does have this here piece. It's a nice bucket. I use it frequently, but I leave the forks on most of the time. I just use the bucket when I need it, because these forks also, you can see them there, the way they're set up, it becomes like a forklift. And man, I can use it with pallets, do whatever I need, pick stuff up. I buy whatever you want, I can lift it with them forks. So it dubs in a lot of special ways. So let's go take a ride with Fiona. I'll show you how we use it to load the hay. Now you might have noticed that these guys are waiting for me down there by the fence. You had Biscuit and Eeyore down there. They saw me loading up the hay, so that makes it tricky for me to get into the pen and bring in that big bale. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to give them their feed. I'll give them their grain while they're waiting at the buckets. Then they'll stay up here. I'll be able to go back around to that gate, come and go for free without them trying to get out, and then everybody will be happy. So let me load up this grain, give them this grain, and then we can put the bale in the feeder. If you haven't noticed, these guys like to be in this order: Biscuit, Oscar, Andy, and usually Eeyore down here, but Justice is either at this end or the other end. All right, so now let's go ahead and follow along. I'll show you how I put the hay into my feeder. It's a homemade feeder. Cost me about $250 in lumber, and we're gonna take it. It's out there in the field out there. Let's see, can you see it out there? All right, well, you'll see it when I drive up to it. Well, you can see that it's starting to get dark, and but it didn't really take too long, because with Fiona, boy, she can really work, I'll tell you what. But you know what? This is one of the nicest times of day on this farm. This is when it's quiet, and you know, you can see the sun's about to set. It's beautiful. Up here I got a couple friends coming to meet me. This right here is Malvy and Annie, and this little guy is Burrito. Now all three of these guys are less than a year old. Malvy and Annie were both orphans, and we bottle fed them. They slept in my bed at night, and they are sweethearts now. I want to show you a couple baby pictures for Annie and Malvy. Here he is when we took Malvy to the beach as a baby, and then the next one has Annie helping my daughter study for school. Here you got Malvy getting a bath in the kitchen sink, and here's Annie showing off her diaper. And wait till you see how their tail wiggles when they're drinking their bottle. Boy, they really love that bottle. But now, back to modern time. Waiting for some feed. I give them sweet feed just as a treat. They don't really need it. That's their pen, a little house they live in. And it butts up right next to a pig pen. I'm gonna give them their food and call it a night. But before we call it a night, there's one more thing I want to show you back at the house. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about one of the real benefits of having so many birds on our farm. That is chickens, ducks, guinea hens, quail, turkey, geese, and of course my emus. Well, one of the benefits is all the eggs. Take a look at all these eggs the girls brought in. Right there you've got, I think there's about 20 dozen sitting here. And you notice there's all different types and kinds. Our chickens are all different types. And so I'm going to scramble up some eggs. And I just wanted to mention that, you know, we don't eat meat, but we don't have any problem with other people who do eat meat. It's not like it's our religion or we got some kind of agenda we're trying to push. We just don't like it. And my wife didn't eat meat for a long time, but it took me till, well, maybe about 9 years ago when we started having chickens. You get attached to them, and then you start feeling like it just seems weird. So I stopped eating chicken, and before long, I just don't have a desire to eat meat at all. But fortunately, eggs are good protein. So I'm gonna scramble up some eggs. But you might think, well, what's so cool about scrambled eggs? That's no big deal. Why would I even put that on a video? Well, because I'm going to be scrambling not any, well, I might use a couple of these eggs, but what I wanted to show you is this egg here. If you saw the other video recently, I found this out there in the yard with the emus. And I just thought, you know, these eggs are so unique. You might think it's neat just to see the comparison between an emu egg and a regular chicken egg, not just in size, which I had told you in the past. It would take all 12, oh there's one missing here, it would take about 12 eggs to line up to match the amount of quantity of egg in one emu egg. So I'm going to just scramble this egg up. We're going to eat this egg for dinner tonight, and you might find it pretty interesting. So let me sit it here while I take my coat off. And we're going to set up a little display so you can see me cook up an emu egg. And one thing you might find interesting, these babies don't just open up easy. Look at this. Nothing. Like, what's it take to even crack this thing, right? So what I do is I do one of these. There we go. See that? Now look at when it opens up. The size of that yolk. Now check this out. You see the inside of this? These guys are dinosaurs. They're just still alive today. It's amazing the membrane inside there. Right? Looks like a dinosaur shell, don't it? Pretty neat. Well, aside from that, check out the size of that yolk. That thing's a monster, right? About fills the whole pan up. Now, because we've got several, I got 7 people in my house, even one of those eggs isn't really going to be enough. So I will go ahead and add a few chicken eggs with it just to make it enough. And also you'll notice the color's a little different because the emu eggs are a little bland. Let me just show you the difference of the yolk on top of it. Take a look at that. You see how yellow a chicken egg is compared to the emu egg? So it's kind of bland when you eat it. And listen, kitty, this ain't for you. And when you eat it, if you don't put any seasoning in it, it's kind of bland. But just before I cook this up, I just want to introduce you to one other friend because I hear her scratching at the door over here. I realize it's kind of dark, but this little goat right here has been living in our house since she's born. And the reason is because her mommy didn't quite make it. Well, she didn't make it. Her mommy died giving birth. And Matcha had to be bottle fed. And because of being bottle fed, you see she doesn't have much of a fur coat, of a winter coat. And so she's been living in the house. Naturally, because she's living in the house, she's gonna need a diaper. And so I'll put a diaper on her. She stays in for the night. Actually, most of the time sleeps in our bed. And then we let her back out in the morning. And you know what? She look like she minds it? No, she don't mind it. She loves it. In fact, the next 5 minutes she'll probably be sitting over there by the fire. Well, friends, that's the end of our episode for this week. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming here to visit us here at the farm. Now, if you did like it, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like button and subscribe. Also, please share any comments you might have or something that you'd like to see here on the farm. I'll also mention to you what we're going to talk about next week. They're looking for some bad weather coming in. So right now, the temperature has gotten a lot more mild, but they're saying the temperature is going to drop. So I'm probably going to have to show you how I manage that water pump for the horses when the weather gets real cold. I'll be sure and get real close and personal with some of our other animals, and who knows what else is in store. So please come on back. Thanks again. And just remember, everybody who visits our farm leaves with a happy tail.
Well, friends, thank you for coming to visit our farm. I hope you enjoyed your stay. If you did enjoy it, please hit the subscribe button at the end of the video. And if you're ever in the Pocono Mountains in eastern Pennsylvania, look us up. We'd love to have you for a visit.